All right.
Is up about $100. The price is $248 per share, up 68% from yesterday's close. Earlier, it was above 300. Susan, you know what this is all about. Take me through the whole story, please.
Social media average Joes versus big money players. And guess what? The army of average Joes are winning so far, at least for now. But the question is, for how long? Elon Musk even tweeting out his approval with his tweets rallying the stock 30% in the after hours. Elon Musk tweeting GameStonk, which is what it's been called on that Reddit Wall Street Bets page that's been behind the GameStop moves. Also, Silicon Valley investor Chamath Palihapitiya says he's betting thousands of dollars on GameStop with the $115 calls for the month of February. Now, GameStop, as we know, has rallied a crazy, they call this insane, 700% this month, literally killing the shorts. Ken Griffin, Steve Cohen-backed Melvin Capital now says that they have closed their shorts. Andrew left this morning at Citron Capital doing the same, both losing money on that trade. Now, GameStop is worth over $10 billion at last count. That's more than Under Armour, more than American Airlines. And GameStop, I would argue, was a...
There you go.
Yankees.
If you want a better representation of how valuations are fucking complete bullshit in the way that the stock market works, this is it. Don't tell me about fucking supply and demand here. If you have no fucking product and your valuation as a corporation, as a company, as a publicly traded company, is higher than others that have, like, you know, actual international factories and not only do they have brick and mortar retail on top of everything else, but like literally robust online sales, like e-commerce operations and shit like that. This is basically Blockbuster 2.0 getting a massive pump from a bunch of understandably frustrated day traders and retail investors that frequent Wall Street Bets, because one of them acknowledged that you could actually make a fuckload of money if because of the way that these hedge funds had overshorted the GameStop stock when it was already fucking super low, like buried it into the goddamn ground to make additional money. Shorting is like betting. When you bet on a stock, when you bet that a stock, the price of a stock is going to go, is going to get lower in the future. Okay, that's the easiest way to describe it. Fox is lying. Melvin didn't actually close out their positions. Yeah, I think they're lying so that they can get people to sell, I assume.
The perfect target for this type of cartel of day traders. There's huge short interest in the stock, more than double the actual stock float, betting that GameStop was going to fall anyway. So this is a ripe opportunity. Kill out the lopsided short trades on a company that doesn't have a lot of stock to trade. You call this froth, I call it strategic.
Okay, well, I'm not sure whether we differ on this, but I'm calling it a casino, and I don't like it. I think it's going to change the...
Again, dog, you're literally a commentator on Fox Business, bro. Like, it's like an MTV VJ saying these video games are indecent.
Keep up the great work.
They're showing too much skin. Like, you're literally a fucking... You are in it. You're in the thick of it. You describe this kind of gambling as though it is completely sensible and makes sense every day. That's a part of your job, is to normalize the stock market. It is so shocking that these very same people are acknowledging correctly, mind you, that it is literally gambling. Okay? Oh, it's not gambling when you're making accurate assessments and recognizing that a company does not have a good future ahead of it. Looking at, trends and quarterly earnings, I've recognized that this is no longer gambling. It's like, dude, it is no different than saying it's going to hit red because I've seen, out of the 33% of the time it's hitting red, so it's going to hit red this next time. Like, it's just, that's it. That's what you're doing. You're gambling. You're gambling with like extra steps, okay? It's not gambling if you base it on vibes.
I love how news channels talk about internet memes.
The nature of investing, and I don't know what the fallout's going to be. So let's bring in Shah Galani, a long-time market watcher on this program. I say it's a casino-like atmosphere. My question is, does it spill over and hurt the rest of the market?
Someone said it's actually undervalued. No, it was undervalued when it was at like $2. Okay, and they were still over shorting it. It is not undervalued when it's literally valued at a higher fucking number than Under Armour. Okay, you're insane. Like,
stonks on my 15th month.
You're fucking crazy to say that it's still undervalued. Okay, which is fine. It's whatever. Like, you know, we're just memeing.
Market. What say you?
No, it will not spill over, will not impact the market one iota. It's just what has been going on Wall Street for many, many, many years, if not as long as I can remember, and certainly long before I started trading 40 years ago. And I think your nearest best insight on what's happening is the comment from Elon Musk. Elon Musk is cheering on the short covering and the rallying stock because that's exactly what he did with his stock for many, many, many years, Stuart. Tesla had been shorted infinitely for so many years, and what happened every time he put out some good news, the stock rose, the shorts had to cover, and investors, retail investors kept plowing into the stock. This is the exact same story that's going on in GameStop. So Elon Musk has been the beneficiary to the point of the fact that he is now the richest man in the world. So that's why he's cheering on GameStop. This is just part of the Wall Street game.
Well,
Yeah, Elon Musk hates shorts, and yet suspiciously, whenever those covers come back, his stock price has fucking benefited tremendously from it. But anyway, I mean, that's literally this. And I do understand why Elon Musk hates shorting. If you're a fucking CEO,
my boy.
If you're a CEO, of course you're gonna fucking hate shorting. Like, it is indecent. What you are doing is basically, if you have enough money and if you have enough influence, you can literally try, and in a lot of circumstances, actively drive down the stock prices of a fucking company. Doesn't matter what their assets are. Doesn't matter. You can literally fucking say, again, if you have enough influence, you could technically fucking drive the value of a stock down, a stock price down, by shorting it. Okay? So,
stonks.
Yeah, it's not great. Of course people are fucking mad, and that's precisely why there is like an entire industry built around defending it. And those who want to defend it say things like, no, actually shorting is good because it's corrective market behavior. It's exposing the flaws within a company, as I briefly mentioned earlier on. And you can say the exact same thing about what's happening with the actions of Wall Street Bets and those fucking retail investors on Wall Street Bets pumping up the fucking price of GameStop. They are engaging in a corrective market action by recognizing that hedge funds that over leverage or over short are a stock well below what it's supposed to be are going to get fucking clapped up because there's literally an infinite dollar value that you can take out of them if they do such a thing. You don't know what you're talking about, you clown forehead? Yeah, I know. If the stock market isn't gambling, then why does that dude's tie look like a casino? That's true.
Let me press the point. Back in 1999, early 2000, the dot-com bubble. Who was left holding the bag? Who took the big losses? It was the little guy. Back then, they weren't called retail investors. They were called the little guy. Fast forward to today. I
mean, 2008 market crash. The people that got fucked over in the end is the little guy. The people that got shit on the entire time is the little guy. Nobody, I mean, there's still plenty of people who obviously fucking credit the big banks for this gigantic market failure that they played an instrumental role in putting together, and so did the Democratic Party, and so did the Republican Party. Shouts out to Bill Clinton.
Sucks, bro.
But But ultimately, when you look back and you fucking hear, neoliberals try to justify what happened in the housing market crash, they say, well, it was fucking middle class people that were buying houses that they just could not afford, and that's what it was. They were going out beyond their means, and that's why it happened. And it's because that's why we need to have money safely stored in the hands of those who know what to do with it.
Why would you bet on red if 66 of the time it comes up black?
Anyway, but ultimately, the people that get fucked over is literally the little guy. Like, it is literally the little guy. It's the people that are buying into this push right now because they hear the memes and they like put way too much into it, that are gonna get fucked over in the end when people start pulling out. The short and simple way of describing to you the 2008 housing market crash is predatory lending. Okay, is banks offering predatory lending, and then knowing full well that those mortgage payments were going to fail, and then literally betting on them failing, while continuing to engage in that same practice that they knew was bad. Okay.
Yo, hassle.
Who cares about 2008, bro? Move on. Yeah, you're right. Few good videos on Jordan's thread. We'll take a look at this in a second. It's great. I love the copium from these big trade boys, these big stonk boys, these people who are running around as the industry understanders.
Going to be left holding the bag when GameStop inevitably comes back down to earth. We've already got Melvin Capital, a big hedge fund, requiring an infusion of funds. That's why I'm pressing the point about the spillover effect, not just to the rest of the market, but to investing in general.
I don't think
shut the fuck up, bitch.
Going to be any spillover, Stuart, because these big boys, the hedge funds, understand the game that they're playing. They know what they're doing when they're shorting. They know the exposure.
Anyone who tries to tell you that there is like a whiplash, there is going to be like, the fucking average investor is getting harmed from this. No, the average investor is only going to get harmed from this when the big boys start making money again, when GameStop's price corrects itself, okay? But like, for the time being, right now, the people pushing are fucking actually regular average Joes. A big chunk of it is like retail investors, and those are the ones who are literally directly taking the money from fucking hedge funds that have absolutely abused the system for far too fucking long. They're milking it, okay? So anyone who tells you like, oh no, it's the average Joe that's suffering right now is lying to you. If they say they're going to suffer tomorrow, then that's another thing. But if they're saying the average Joe suffering right now, they're fucking lying to you, okay? These are hedge funds. Like, you never get a perfect fucking villain, okay? Hedge funds are Lex Luthor. Like, they are literally the perfect villain from a leftist POV, okay? From the eyes of the average American worker, they are literally the perfect villain. It's not like they're doing a net benefit to society, okay? They literally only work with the wealthiest investors on the planet.
4 months of enjoying your content.
And they do shit like this all the fucking time. So it's great. It is literally great.
3.
Betting that you'll lose your job? What do you mean? Me? Or are you saying that, like, I don't get notifications from your channel anymore? What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know what it is. Why are political Andes on both sides trying to claim this as their win? LMAO. Wall Street bets ain't famous for their right or left policies? Wait, what? I'm not saying that this is like leftist action, my friend. I'm not stupid. I'm not delusional. Even by talking about the Wall Street bet shit, there's like there's an influx of fucking weirdos in my chat that are crawling out of the woodwork to be like, hey, shut up, you mongoloid. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Actually, like, GameStop stock is so fucking good. You're just jealous that you didn't get in on it early on like I did. Like, dude, okay. Anyway.
At HasanAbi, siphon these big boys' money straight into my portfolio, plus.
Hedge funds manage money for the wealthiest of the wealthy. Okay? They are the wealthiest of the wealthy, the people that they are operating with. There are some hedge funds that manage like pension funds and shit like that, but ultimately hedge funds literally are fucking, and even those hedge funds, if they're engaging in these sorts of risky fucking trades, then they're pieces of shit that should be punished. And the Democrat or Republican pieces of shit that gave your fucking pension funds over to those hedge funds to literally do shit like this instead of investing alongside the stock market in general are scumbags, okay? Like, they're such pieces of shit that deserve to be fucking punished. They are so bad that they're literally fucking worse than Jeff Bezos. I cannot think of another person that I think is like singularly bad other than like literally fucking hedge funds, because Jeff Bezos exploits the shit out of his employees, okay? But there's still a fucking product in the other side of this, okay? There's still like delivery, there's a product. Hedge funds literally move money around, okay? They take money from those who have a tremendous amount of intergenerational wealth, and they make more money off of that by engaging in this sort of fuck actions, like over-shorting companies that are already dying.
They also know that they're facing retail investors who will gang up on them, as other hedge funds will tend to do, and gang up on guys that they know who have big short positions and try and force the stocks higher. This has been going on. This is it's a principled game, and everybody knows how to and understands how it's played. So the fact that Melvin got caught in this, sorry, you lose. Retail has done a great job of going after a lot of these shorts and actually ganging up on them. This is just part of trading, and I think this is the welcome to the new world. We're going to see a lot more of this. We saw it in AMC. We're going to see it in a lot of other stocks, I think, continually as retail's power increases. And I think we see more and more retail investors coming into the market and working off these sites, the Reddit sites and some of these other chat room sites, gaining a lot of force, and they're going to be a force.
Without liquidity, it would be way harder to invest in companies. And companies would have less cash to innovate with? Yeah, I know, man. If only there was a way to solve that liquidity problem, dude. Shit. No, the only way to do it is by crunching numbers. You're right. Innovation does not exist without the stock market. This is correct. I mean, if you have a problem with liquidity, then I guess you're a big fan of Keynesian economics. You're a big fan of fucking taking money and distributing it back to public resources, public funds, actual workers as well. But also on top of that, I'm sure you're a huge fan of higher taxes so that the government can appropriately fund innovation, publicly funded research. They don't actually care about the little guy. They're just mad the little guy's doing what the big hedge fund managers constantly do. Yeah, they're doing the exact opposite of what hedge funds do. They're doing the exact opposite of what that hedge fund, Melvin Capital, literally was doing. Except in this circumstance, the capital required to take on something like that is tremendous. And you don't have like a fucking $2 billion cash infusion to the Wall Street Bets portfolio. You literally have to do it by being like, this is a good idea, and then getting other people on board. So it's infinitely more... it's infinitely more difficult than what hedge funds do. And if they were to turn around and try to fucking regulate this behavior, if they were to say like, oh, well, it's actually illegal, this kind of stock manipulation, then why the fuck are hedge funds in existence?